afternoon, and Coach Joe Hollis. Coach, it's good to see you again. Good to have you here. If you'd let the guys introduce, or you introduce them, their position, their class, we'd appreciate it. I'll get it out in a minute, and then opening comment from you.
Okay. Y'all introduce yourselves.
I'm Kane Moore. I play offensive line and defensive line. Class of 25.
Trevor Houston, outside linebacker, senior.
Diego Holt, running back, linebacker, class of 25.
Peyton Miller, class of 2025, D-line and O-line.
Well, we're excited to be here. We're going on year 4, and a lot of this is due to these guys right here. This is the first group that we've had, since they were freshmen, and they're battle tested. They've been through a lot in the 4 years that they've been playing at North Jackson. Lots of highs, lots of lows, a lot of right in the middle, and this group, we brought them today because they really represent who we are. They've shown a lot of grit, a lot of character, especially in the up and down season that we had last year. Got off to a rough start and then went undefeated in the month of October and ended up being the 3rd seed going into the playoffs. And that speaks to their hard work and their character and their resiliency.
Coach, could you speak on, I know these guys are returning, other experienced starters coming back. How many's in the program? How many seniors you have and returning starters?
Right now we've got 48 players on the varsity level, 9 through 12, which for us to make it all the way through this point, we start fall camp on Monday, is tremendous. We've normally started with 45, 46, but by the time fall camp actually starts, it's probably closer to 40. So our numbers, the atmosphere in the school, we're kind of on the climb. More kids are wanting to come play. I think we've got close to 40 guys in our middle school program. But these guys, they've showed a lot of heart, especially this summer. We've got 8 returning starters on offense and 7 returning starters on defense. So we're really excited about the experience. They played in a lot of games. Unfortunately, when we took over the program a few years ago, we were having to play a lot of guys, kind of like Coach Pruitt said, that should have been playing in middle school or JV games that were having to play as 8th, 9th, and inexperienced 10th graders in varsity competition. And I will say this, we play in one of the toughest regions in all of 4A, and I don't know how we got gifted by the state putting 9 teams in the region, but last year our region was tremendous. Lots of good quarterbacks every week. It seemed like we were facing a guy that was a really talented player, and even with our non-region opponents, the 3 non-region opponents we have last year, the one that had the most losses only had 2, and they were a really good program in 5A. So it's been a challenge, and we've just really been so pleased with the work and from the weight room to the leadership that this group of seniors that's up here with us today has really shown.
Coach Hollis, of course, this is your 4th year now at North Jackson, and it has been a slow process to get this program back where you want it to be. And that little run you made last year, do you think this program is getting to where you want it to be? Instead of hoping to win, you're expecting to win.
Well, I think now I'm going to go back to Coach Dye. I've never been involved in a football game playing or coaching that I expected to lose. That's just the competitive nature in all of us. But, no, it has taken a process. It starts with who you surround your kids with and the coaches that you have. And, this is the first year we've grown. The first year I think we had 5 assistants. Last year we had 7 or 8, and this year we're going to have about 10 assistants helping, and half of those guys have played at North Jackson, and of course last year we added Coach Schrader on defense, who is in his 41st year of teaching and coaching and has forgotten more football than most of us know. And anytime you can surround your kids with that, we really had for lack of a better term, come to Jesus moment last year after the St. John game. And you know, some of that is on me as a head coach. You know, you try to emulate who you learn from as you're growing. And my dad was a college coach for almost 35 years. And, you know, it's getting comfortable in your own skin and knowing what your strengths and weaknesses are. And, you know, also understanding that sometimes, you know, you got to listen to your kids. And we did a lot of that last year and a lot of soul searching. You know, we never want to lose our physicality and our aggressiveness. But we made a change as a coaching staff and kind of evolved. And then we went on the road when we were playing Priceville, and they were on a 16-game win streak, and we had one win at the time, and we just kind of went on a tear. Everything started clicking from the way the coaches were communicating to how the players were responding to each other. And yeah, I think that kind of, you hoping that catapults you, and it's shown that in the way that we've worked in the weight room and the way the guys have responded. And the summer's been really good. It's been a real competitive summer. You know, not only have we done the workouts and the lifting and running, but we've also competed in a bunch of competitions and 7-on-7s and things like that. But it's a trust process. The players trusting us as coaches and us trusting them to put them in those situations. And I think this group has just grown where, especially these guys, they think what I'm thinking before I think it. And anytime you're like that, and they know when I'm about to hit the point where, you know, I may go into super mean mode or whatever the case may be, and they know how to respond, and they know how to teach the younger guys to respond.
For the players, what did that late run last season do for you in the program?
It was really a big confidence boost. We started off 0-5. We're all down, and when it clicked, it clicked. We just took off like a rocket, played games, didn't expect to lose. We were competing with everybody, no matter who it was.
One thing is, like, it just gives you a feel-good moment, you know, when you work all season long and it's just not turning out for you. And you're wondering, what are we doing wrong? And to finally have a win under your belt, it's just a real good feeling.
It was a real good confidence booster. I'm sure by the 5th game of the season, we weren't even expected to make it nowhere near the playoffs. Winning those games and getting our streak going gave us a big boost, and hope to continue it this year.
Yeah, it felt good to get a win after those 5 losses. We really needed it, and I think after that first win, it just gave us a hungry feeling to get more. So, yeah, that's yeah.
Well, Coach, that, you know, piggybacking off of that, you often have teams, you know, when you first start coaching, where they're kind of sort of coach-driven. Now with this team having that run last year, now they become player-driven, and if you're going to be successful in any program, you have to have players that are player-driven because they have to communicate, and if you're going to be successful, they have to drive the team, not just the coach.
Oh, no, I totally agree. I mean, a coach can only push so much to the point that we're never going to play a snap. It doesn't matter how much football we know. It doesn't matter the success that we've had at other stops or while we were playing. You know, at the end of the day, it's a game for the players, and they're going to have to go out there and execute and make decisions. And this group grew into that process. We had a bunch of guys last year that were seniors, great kids, were really unsure because they had never seen that out of themselves. So they started developing that and kind of showed these guys, and some of these guys were some of the leaders that stepped up. And now it's just like anything. It's kind of like a contagious disease. It just starts to spread. And when it spreads, that's when, you know, as coaches, we can have a lot more fun because now we just get to sit back and make sure that we're getting everything executed that we need to execute, but letting them have fun and letting them play. And at the end of the day, you know, when guys can go out there and they're having fun with one another and they're competing at a high level and they do expect to win, that's the whole goal of this whole deal. Every Friday night when we put on the red and black and we've got the spear on the side of our helmet, we're expecting to win. We play in one of the best atmospheres and stadiums in the entire state of Alabama. And I'd challenge most high schools. You come down there in the valley and you've got the mountains in the background with the train coming through about 8 times, it seems, in the third or fourth quarter. There's not a better atmosphere that you can be at. And, these guys have earned the right to experience that success by the work that they put in. And we're hoping to capitalize on that and continue pushing the program. We're very pleased. Our middle school program has been tremendous the past couple years. When we first took the job, we were 1 year into combining both the middle schools to have a North Jackson middle school because our numbers were lower in Bridgeport and we weren't sure if we could support a team. So once we were able to do that, our youth and our middle school kids have started to grow and mature, and that's the lifeblood of your program. Coaches talk about it all the time. It starts in the youth league, but, we made this move in 1988 when we became a high school of joining all the communities together, and we were still keeping them separate while they were in middle school. So the fact that now they're there with our coaches every day in the same field house, they're seeing how the older guys work, they're able to respond to our coaching. There's no change. Oh, coach coached me this way in middle school. They're seeing it now from us. All of our coaches are hands-on involved with the middle school players. We work them out, we lift them, run them, and practice them. So, anytime you're able to do that, and it is a process. None of this happens by happenstance. It takes a lot of hard work, a lot of communication, organization. We joke all the time as coaches, you just kind of put your fireman's hat on, and you never know what's going to come at you that day. So we get a lot of it.
Coach, you're in a particular unique situation this year within your region, being a 9-team region, and most of your schedule at that point really getting spoken for outside of 2 games. You're able to keep Sylvania and almost a non-negotiable game in Scottsboro on, but not only on the schedule, but very early in the season. Could you talk about the challenges that you foresee ahead in that region and your schedule and what it's going to take to navigate this type of region?
Sure. Well, I'm probably the world's worst scheduler in non-region games because we've always scheduled very tough opponents, and we've done it for a purpose. But, yes, Scottsboro is a non-negotiable. Now, we had a team last year, South Pittsburgh, on our schedule. They declined to play. We were under contract, and we never heard back from them, and they wouldn't respond to us. So it sucks that we lost that game because our players and our community really look forward to it. But, once the state put us in a 9-team region, Coach Pruitt was up here earlier, we had already had an agreement. We were going to play week 10 unless we got put in a 9-team region because you know how coaches are. They're kind of like canaries. It was floating out there, and we had called the state the week of the assignment of the classifications, and we went over it, and they assured us we wouldn't be, and lo and behold, there's 68 teams in 4A, so there's 4 of us that are in 9-team regions. But it is a very tough process, especially, you bring Plainview and their talent into the region, you lose Priceville, which was a really good football program, and then you also add Madison Academy, which who knows with the 22 or 23 seniors they lost last year, how many they're bringing in. And it's always a challenge when you have a lot of private schools in your region and they can bring in different players from anywhere at any point in time. And our region's got a lot of talented coaches. These guys, they work their rear ends off too, and they do a very good job of getting their teams prepared, and they go out and execute. So there are no off weeks in the schedule. There's nobody that you're looking forward to and going, well, maybe I can get my 2s in here in the second or third quarter. You know that every week you're going to have to bring it, and you're going to have to play a full 48 minutes to be able to execute and get a win.
We'll wrap it up with this, guys. Talk to me about team goals. You all are seniors last year playing for the Chiefs at North Jackson. Talk about your team goals and maybe if you have individual goals for your senior season.
I would really just love to have a good winning season to finish it off. If we make it all the way, we make it all the way. That's just the dream. But some real goals are first, playoffs, second, championship. That's all.
It's like Kane said, you play the game to play for 15 weeks straight, and we're just trying to be great leaders to the community as well, because without them, it's just another practice out there. So as long as we can be role models and them enjoy coming to watch us play, that's just as good as winning.
We want to push the underclassmen this year, the 9th grade, 10th, and 11th. And we want to go to the playoffs and finish with a bang.
Just doing the little things right. That's what we're really focusing on. I think that's what we got carried away with. Just trying to be consistent this year. That's one of the biggest goals that we're going to try to be this year. Just be consistent.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot, Coach. Thanks for being with us again this year. Good luck this year to the Chiefs.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.